but we're going to go into some of my favorite topics, which are zoning regulations. And I think I'm going to just turn this over to Dave to talk about what we're going to call a demolition delay bylaw. And do not get away from your radios, because this is more interesting than you think it sounds. But it is going to be a very, very important part of any community with historic structures. It's a very important part of your planning toolbox. So, Dave, some of us got a preview of this from Jack McKean the other night at the planning board meeting, but why don't you give our listeners an overview of what a demolition delay bylaw is? Because let's assume, like most of us, we didn't know much about it.
Right, sure. So the Historic Commission's working to bring a demolition delay bylaw to the town because it's a bylaw, obviously it has to be approved by town meeting. And we're probably going to try to bring it to the town in the fall town meeting. But we're starting to, we've got the draft of the bylaw on the Historic Commission's webpage, and we'll be holding a set of hearings about it. And what it is very basically, probably the best thing is just to read the introductory language, or paraphrase the introductory language. It's to preserve and protect significant buildings or other structures within the town of Maynard which constitute or reflect distinctive features of the architectural, cultural, economic, political, or social history of the town, and to limit the detrimental effect of demolition of such buildings on the character and value of real property resources of the town.
You took that from Billy Joel in the last song.
Yeah, close to,
oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're saying with this is that it's a bylaw, which is a local regulation.
Correct.
And the purpose of this is to really protect historical structures or features.
It's a way to get the conversation around the protection going. First of all, very important, it is a demolition delay bylaw. It is not a demolition prevention bylaw. We're not here to say that progress does not happen. Right. Its main goal, and by the way, the Maynard Historical Commission didn't invent this. There's 146 other communities in the Commonwealth that have demolition delay bylaws, a lot of them around us. And it really is a way for the town, if we're trying to embody some of our core principles of protecting the historical nature of the town, that if a building becomes threatened and because someone wants to demolish it, we have an opportunity to put a pause in there to see if there's some other options. And it really is there to create what we like to call a window of opportunity for a better outcome. And so what it basically means is that if you're applying for a demolition permit, and the building that you want to demolish is on our list of historically significant buildings, and this is a list that's maintained by the Historical Commission, and goes through hearings and approvals and whatnot. The building commissioner would notice that property was on the list of historic properties, and they would notify the Historical Commission. We would find out what they want to do with the building. Maybe the building is in really poor shape, in which case, there's really no point in us trying to stop it. For safety reasons and a lot of other stuff, demolition could proceed. So if it turns out, the type of demolition or whatever doesn't have any real bearing on it, then the demolition could proceed. If not, we would have a public hearing. And again, if the result of that public hearing is that this building truly is historically significant and we want to try to preserve it, we would incur the demolition delay of 12 months. It would be 18 months if we had any buildings on the National Historic Register, but it's 12 months.
Right.
And that 12-month period provides an opportunity to try to find some other action for that building besides demolishing it.
So if somebody has a property that's on that list, though, the thinking is that, okay, if it's historically significant, there should be another safeguard, really, to ensure a tear down without careful reconsideration of what's going on and the opportunity to perhaps use it in its current state for another purpose or something like that?
Use it, yeah, use it in its current state. Maybe find an alternative use for the building that doesn't require its demolition. Some towns have gone as far as moving the buildings. Just taking the building up and that actually happened a lot in towns. It doesn't happen a lot anymore, but
Really?
there are plenty of buildings in town that are not in their original locations.
I can think of some use for that. Yeah.
But essentially, is there a way to take this structure and relocate it to another spot so that we can still preserve it as a structure at the lot? We want that conversation to happen, and not just, hey, someone comes up with an idea, and 3 weeks later the building fails, and everyone said, what happened to that?
So here's a question I had, and I've run into this throughout my career, and sometimes as the owners, business
Right.
owners, the town, and a very real issue that I've heard frequently, or that objection I've heard frequently, is that the cost of rehabilitation just doesn't make it cost effective to reuse the building. And of course, in that case, you have options that maybe, the local government or government acquires it or something like that, where it's, but what do you do in a town where you have really cool structures and clearly rehabilitate it, and maybe they can't use it because of condition or something. I mean, that's something that really is an issue, isn't it?
It is an issue, and this bylaw does not stop that from happening. I mean, someone could, let's take a building that's currently, you could consider threatened right now.
Right.
At this very moment, the Methodist Church,
Okay.
on the gateway in
Right.
to the
Right.
town,
Right.
is up for sale.
Right.
The entity that buys that could decide that they don't want the building there, and it could go. And this is a building that's been in town for quite a long time. It's a signature, part of our town
Right.
for people coming in, and maybe that. And I would say that would be a likely candidate for a demolition delay bylaw to be imposed, because a lot of people would be, as part of the hearing, I'm sure we would hear from the community that they would consider that to be a building that they would want to, that the community would come forward and say they want to preserve. And after 12 months of working feverishly to try if we could figure out what else to do with it, if the town can't come up with something, the building goes. It's sad.
Right.
But the bylaw is not there to stop people from doing these things.
It's there to provide.
It's there to try to give a chance for the community and everyone else that they're the stakeholders, as you call them.
STAKE, not EAK.
Yeah.
Right.
To try to weigh in and see if there are other alternatives and other ways of doing it, and maybe someone else can find someone who's willing to pay more money for the building, and that won't raise. I don't know.
Very interesting.
That's the whole point. But it is not there. I mean, in the end, we may lose the building.
Right,
I mean, that's a distinct possibility. But right now, as the laws are on the books, that conversation would never happen. There's no chance, there's no opportunity for that. The building commissioner gets the demolition permit, and the building vanishes some number of weeks later, and that's it. I mean, there's no opportunity for a dialogue, and so that's really what the bylaw is about. Is, again, creating a window of opportunity.
Sure, it's
for
a
something to happen.
responsible way to handle
Right.
historical structures. It's the best. It gives you a little more of a safeguard, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Well, so for our listeners out there that may want to follow up on this, what's the next step? Where can people? I know they can go on the website, right?
Yeah, you can go to the Maynard Historical Commission webpage, which is part of the Town of Maynard website, townofmaynard-ma.gov, and click on the committees and the Historical Commission, and we've got the draft of the bylaw there. We meet as the commission meets every month, and our meetings are posted there, and we welcome the public to come and talk to us about it. But in the very near future, I'd say within the next month or two, we will actually have dedicated public hearings on this bylaw and on the list, because the two sort of go hand in hand, right?
So people have plenty of time to hear about this and stuff,
Yeah.
and we can always use this as a platform. I found a song I think reflects this real quick, and
right.
then we're going to come back with our favorite portion of the show, Think You Know Maynard. Johnny G, you ready to cue that baby up?
Of course.
And here, planning, zoning, rock and rolling with Dave Griffin, and it's also, I understand, the top-rated planning and zoning show in the country right now.
That is correct.
Very good. That's excellent. And
well deserved. Well deserved.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And where else do you get a demolition delay bylaw song like that? We dig one up. We find it. Okay. Now, all of my listeners out there, remember we have our very special portion of Think You Know Maynard trivia game. Well, what you don't know is that a lot of the questions I get are either directly given to me or I research them on some of Dave's websites or other artifacts that he leaves around the office, and I have to say there's a fair collection of those, so I won't run out anytime soon. So when it came time, and I assume you're up to play the trivia game, Dave, right?
I will try. I am not a walking, talking book of Maynard history. My brain's very tiny, so I just. But go ahead.
Well, how about if I told you it involved winner gets a lunch on Andrew Scrivener McLean with him at a restaurant of your choice?
No, I'm still willing to play,
right.
but I'm not gonna be embarrassed if I completely tank
No,
on
you're
this.
not embarrassed. Okay, who is it today? Is it Johnny or Matt going to play today?
I think it's Matthew, because last time I absolutely destroyed Mr. Scrivener McLean.
Oh, that's right. How do we get that? But there was something happened where he didn't have to take his lunch, right? It was a 2-for-1.
No, he was cheating.
All right, okay. We try to run a fair show here. But okay, here we go. Remember that now, the way we do this, it's going to start with our guest. And Matthew, if our guest, Dave, does not answer correctly, you have a chance to get that point. Okay?
Got a good chance. I'm very old.
Oh, well, like I always say, it beats the alternative, right?
That's right.
Okay. What is the average travel time to work for workers in Maynard in the 2014 American Community Survey? And I'm going to give you multiple choice. Okay.
Okay. I was going to say, the last time I heard this, you were just asking for a number out of thin air, which
I got the listeners complained of.
I would think so.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. And, it was Andrew insisted.
93 minutes. No, the answer's 92. Sorry.
All right.
Go ahead.
So,
what do you got?
all right.
Average
First one.
commute time into Maynard?
Right. Is it 30.3 minutes, 25.7 minutes, or 42.1 minutes?
What year?
So, this is on the 2014 American Community Survey. So average commute time, A,
C.
30.3 minutes, B, 25.7 minutes, or C, 42.1.
C.
Well, all right, Matthew, this could be it.
So what are the multiple choices again?
Well, A is 30.3, B is 25.7, and C is 42.1.
Don't choose C.
Yeah.
I'm going to say A.
Okay, 30.3 minutes. Good job, Matthew. Okay. All right, now it's your chance. Getting a little closer to that pastrami sandwich with Andrew. Okay.
this is we're getting harder now. We're digging. Okay, what is the population per square mile in Maynard? Now I'm going to give you a little hint. Everybody always says about Maynard, it's a very dense population. That doesn't mean like upstairs. It means densely populated. Okay, so A, 852.3 persons per square mile. B, 1,938.6 persons per square mile. Or C, 1,452.8 persons per square mile.
I'm gonna go with 1900.
You are on fire.
Wow.
Wow. 1,938.6. Did you know that one, Dave?
I was going to go between that and the third one, but that was pretty close to what I was thinking.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay. You want to go double or nothing on this one?
It's like, was it 13,000 people in Maynard and about 9 square miles, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Is that not? Yes. Well, but the problem is with the wildlife refuge is so much of it. So.
That doesn't make any difference.
you
It's still
could
the
say
same,
that.
you still just divide the two.
Oh no, it's just true. Come on. I don't have a calculator. He's using a calculator. All right. Ready for number 3. I think, actually, this is kind of a, want to go double for nothing, make it interesting?
Sure.
All right. Double 2 lunches for the Andrew Scribner McLean. Or,
Yeah.
Dave, you can dig out of the hole here.
Yeah.
What, in 2014, according to the American Community Survey, what was the average household income in Maynard? 2014 average household income in Maynard. Was it $65,242? Was it $79,252? Or was it $81,783? So 65, 79, or 81?
Who gets the...
Oh, no, it's back to Dave.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'll go with B.
Good job, Dave. All right. Sorry, man. See, but that's good.
It's a tie then.
Yeah,
keep the
yeah,
show
it's a
in
tie.
there,
It's a tie. Right. So Andrew Scribner McLean bails out again. Good Lord, he's getting out of everything. But good job, and thanks to our guest for coming in and playing the game real quick. And now we're going to go into our final segment. We got a little bit of time left, don't we? We have 6 minutes, but we don't have that many events, so we'll go through it real quick. What's going on? You want to stick around for this last segment?
Absolutely.
Okay, we got a couple minutes here. Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. So, what's going on in Maynard this week? Well, tonight is the Village Memorial Park Workshop, and that's going to be 7 p.m. at the library. That's going to involve all the input from the first workshop is going to be presented here to you, the residents, the community. It's your park, it's your plan, and you're going to have an opportunity to weigh in on it one more time before the third workshop where we come up with the final designs.
First
So
one
that's-
was awesome.
It was, oh yeah, you were there, right?
was there, yeah.
And yeah, we really, usually you can't keep people sticking around. This time we couldn't get them out.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to go, so I hope it's like that tonight. So that's going to be at 7 p.m. at the library. Everybody's welcome, and I hope to see you there. Stop by and say hi. And then the final workshop date will be announced within the next week or so. The second event I want to make sure everybody's aware of is our local representative, Kate Hogan. Most of you know her. She's really a dynamite. I don't think you do any better,
Nope.
really, and she's been wonderful. She's hosting her St. Patrick's Day party on March 11th at the Maynard Golf Club, and that's going to be beginning at 5:30, and that benefits the Assabet Valley Boys and Girls Club. And a lot of you I did see there. Well, how can I say I saw them there last week when I'm on the radio? All right, I know a lot of you were there last year, and I'm going to plan on attending myself this year, but that's put that in your calendars. March 11th, St. Patrick's Day party for hosted by Representative Hogan, and it's for a really great cause with the Boys and Girls Club, and I'll pass on more information as we get that. The only other real interesting piece of news, but it's a biggie. You know what I got here? What do you think, boys? I got a big one coming.
I don't know.
I mean-
what is it?
Big as so far as planning and zoning is concerned. Any guess here?
I have no idea.
Well, let's put it this way. The housing production plan was adopted by the state formally. So Maynard has its own housing production plan. And you remember we did a show on that, right? I'm sure you.
Yep.
What do you give me that glazed up look for? You don't remember it, do you? All right. Well, anyway, so that is official now. So you're gonna, anybody's gonna be interested in looking at that housing production plan. It really is a blueprint for the future on what we're going to, how we're going to develop in the community. Because as we talked about before, there's a big difference between growth and development. And we're trying to develop in a responsible way that really takes full advantage of our small town New England lifestyle and preserves that and keeps everything, keeps the part that people like, but keeps everything viable. And housing production plan is key to that. Part of that involves affordable housing and maintaining a minimum of 10% affordable housing. Did you have a chance to attend any of those workshops, Dave, on the housing production plan?
I did not.
I think,
Sorry.
no, I think they're, actually, if you want to watch the reruns, I think they're on there. But yeah, no, that was another really neat series of workshops. We had a,
I've seen the slide deck for it. So.
yeah, it was pretty neat. And we had a lot of thanks to MAPC for that. Also, another relocation note. Those of you who remember Jenny Raitt from MAPC, who, along with Corinna Milkman, really ran us through that process for the last year. She has left MAPC and now is the planning director at Arlington. So things change, but everybody's around. So, and I think that brings us pretty much up to our 1 hour time limit. I'd like to thank everybody for listening here on Planning, Zoning, Rock and Rolling, and especially like to thank my guest Dave Griffith, producers Johnny and Matthew. And next week, I don't know exactly how we're going to do it because I am technically, I can't say incompetent, but I'm pretty darn bad. But we're going to have to record the show earlier and get it on, so it will be on at the same time at 3 p.m. And we're going to leave you with a little something from the Beatles, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for listening.